Alright, I try to start with a quick little preview of what our audience is going to look like today. My name is Jason Sauve. I'm in the Navy. We're going to talk about a person's Navy career and what basically is at risk in a body composition assessment. Twice a year we do a PRT. It consists of a BCA and a PFA. The BCA is what's going to measure our body fat percentage, so that's what we're going to concentrate on. I'll go over real quick what all is entailed in a PRT so you have an idea of the overall picture here. But basically what I do in the Navy is I'm a CFL. I'm a certified fitness leader. And it's going to be my job twice a year to decide if you're going to be able to stay in the Navy. And this is your career that we're talking about now. Twice a year, you have to make sure that you're staying to stay, that you're not getting kicked out of the Navy. And especially with hard times we've fallen on, things like that, it's actually a lot stricter to stay in the military. And they're not quite as, we'll say, lackadaisy about kind of looking over or looking past things. And it sucks if you've been in the Navy for 17, 18 years, and especially in the reserves that I work with, you have a lot of people that are getting near their retirement, or they're trying to get to retirement, and they're a little bit older and a little bit more struggling with trying to keep their body fat percentage down, which is what we're going to talk about. But this is their entire career. This is what they've done with their life that's on the line right now, so this is what we're talking about. Now we're talking about twice a year, or semi-annually, we do a PRT. We do what is going to consist of a PFA, which is actually the second part after we go over the BCA. But the PRT consists of a 1.5 mile run, push-ups and sit-ups, so you gotta do your physical aspect to stay in the military, make sure that you can hang when you get deployed and things like that. And as well what it includes is our BCA, which is gonna be our body composition assessment. And this is gonna just go over your body fat percentage, your weight, and make sure that you're properly fit. So even if you can run fast and do other things, if you aren't below the weight standards, you're not allowed to stay in the Navy. Now granted, you're getting one passing period, so where you could fail, but after that, if you fail again, you're done. You're out of the Navy. So what we're going to talk about is how I need assistant CFLs. My job, as I said, is I'm a certified fitness leader. I'm going to be what I did is I went to school for 2 weeks. I actually, luckily enough, got to go to San Diego. I just wanted to be a baby and go enjoy the warmth in the middle of February. But they have classes all over the states, and so we send 30 to 40 people that are officers and enlisted in the Navy to get trained on exactly how to go over this, because it is a person's career online, and obviously every job we have, we need to make sure that somebody is qualified and set to do what they're going to do. And what I need from you is you're going to be my assistant CFL. So when we have our drill weekends, or in the regular Navy, when we have those days come up, instead of having to go to these classes, you're at least there to assist me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to train you how to help me understand exactly what we're looking for here when we're going measuring everyone's necks, stomachs, as we're about to go over, to make sure that they can pass and do what they need to do. Then reset that clock. We're going to start with exactly, I guess we can just start with our guinea pig right away and show you exactly what we need in somebody's body fat percentage. Or I'll let you know real quick before we get to our guinea pig, is that we have somebody's height and weight. So you don't have to measure every single sailor that we go over. When we bring everyone in and we go through, our division is 160 guys. I don't need you, and women, we don't need you to measure every individual that comes in. What I'm going to have you do is we're going to talk about how, really what you do is we're going to skip this step real quick, but I have a scale right here, and then something to measure me with. So I stand straight against the wall, we go over my height, we go through this. So my height's 74 inches, and my weight's 175, and I'm clearly below what we have is our first chart here. You can see through our descriptions, and as we go through in the Navy, literally everything is listed out, 1, 2, 3 steps. They have everything right there on paper for this, so you can't really, well, you shouldn't be making any mistakes, and they make it the same thing when I was on aviation instructional mechanic before this. Whether I know the job or not, we have a step-by-step process that we have to go through and check off for every single job that we do to make sure that we're not putting somebody's career at risk or somebody's life at risk when we're launching a plane or measuring their body fat percentage. What we're going to go through now is, it starts here as they'll give you the numbers for males. We have 22% as your limit, and after age 40, which a lot of people we're going to be dealing with are going to be at their 23% limit. For women, we have a 33% limit, and then at age 40, 34. Sounds weird saying 40 and 34. And then the first chart that I'm going to go over is right here. It'll show you, this one's nice and simple. All we have is our weights right here, so you can see if it shows, or I'm sorry, our height. It'll show you exactly what somebody's height is. And so if we were to go to my 74, you can go through the left side and it'll say men, or it'll go through women on the right side. For the men's side, as long as I'm underneath this number, I don't need to be measured. So I would be able to skip over it and move on to the next person. Height, weight, good to go. So same thing with Ryan right here, as we already went over earlier. He's 73 inches, and his weight is definitely below this, so we wouldn't have to actually measure him. He's not even going to be close. But we're still going to use him as our guinea pig right now, or I'm going to show you what we need to do with you so you know how to measure everyone. I'm going to bring you up here and I'm going to show you how we start with your neck. For men and females, we have 2 measurements, female we have 3. For the men, we just have our neck and the stomach over here. And we're going to measure these 2. We start with the abdomen, or we don't need to start with it, but we need 2 measurements. And we're going to take the abdomen and minus the neck from it to get our circumference value. For women, we're going to have our neck, our stomach, and our butt region right here, or your hips that we can go over. And right here on the bottom, once again, for the men, it's going to give you exactly what you need. We have their height up here, and then what their value is going to be. And right on the bottom, it gives you directions where it'll say, hey, circumference value equals abdomen circumference minus neck circumference, which this is going to be the part that you need to be trained on and what you need to do. So this is the task at hand. We're going to start, personally, we're going to start with Ryan's neck here. So he's going to look straight, and we're going to go right underneath his Adam's apple. It's nice they just showered so he smells all clean while I'm nice and close to him. And what we have right here is we'll press this little button and it brings it in, and we'll see that he's at about 15 3/4. So we're going to round up to 16. Now what we're doing is we're rounding to a ½ inch one way or the other. For neck we're going to round up because we want to take that number from our total. We want basically the lowest number possible, and we're going to work in the sailor's favor basically. So we're going to take the neck, we're going to round up, and we're going to get 16. So I'm going to write this down. We have 16 right here. And then we're going to go and get his stomach value. The same thing, so we're going to lift his shirt right here, so we're not going over any cloth. And we're going to get, same thing. Now what we do is we make sure this is, alright. What we have real quick is, you can go through, bring it together, and we're going to make sure this is parallel to the ground. So we're good. Now with the people we're talking about later on, they might get a little bit thicker and it's a little bit harder to measure. Everyone, you're going to have this space in your back. You have to make sure you can actually tighten it in so you can bring it down and we're not getting any extra measurement that doesn't actually exist or any space in there. But for Ryan here, it's nice and easy, and he's going to be at 33. It's about 33 1/4, but we're rounding down to 33 for him. So 33 minus 16 is going to give us 17. Now what we can do is recommend a calculator for anyone. I mean, I'm going to skip over this real quick. We're not going to take the time to stop and do this, but 33 minus 16 is 17, trust me. So what we're going to do is these numbers I just told you about, we're going to look and we see his height right here at 73, and we see the number that we just found. It says circumference value right here. So we're going to go over, and we're going to take this number that we have for circumference value and bring it over to his 73, and we're going to see that his body fat percentage is actually 12%. So he's clearly well underneath the 22, which we said he was going to be, which is why we wouldn't have needed to measure him. But we still have to make sure. Now if he was a female, we got, Renita over here, or whatever name he wants to go with. We're going to just, now this, normally we'd like to have a little bit of some, like not quite as thick shorts or anything along those lines. But we're going to call it good because once again I'm not too concerned about Ryan, we're just trying to go over the point here. But you'd make sure the same thing is even. So you got the widest part of the hips and you just bring it in and you take this measurement. So Ryan's great for birthing hips over here are going to be 40 inches. And we're going to take that in. And now same thing with the female, we have a whole different chart here, but it's still nice and simple. So we go for our females or our women, and it's going to say right on the bottom that we have our circumference value equals natural waist plus hip minus your neck. So you still have your neck that you're subtracting, but you're putting your hips and your waist together first. So obviously we're going to have higher numbers here, but you put those together and this is how we're going to get it. Now I'm not going to go through because to be honest I have no idea how accurate this is going to be for a guy being a girl, but I want you to understand that for the hips, same thing, parallel, and at the widest part. We take that number, use the chart the same way, and we're going to get somebody's body fat percentage. Thank you. I appreciate your assistance.
Anytime.
This is pretty much going to be your job as CFLs in the Navy, trying to help me understand what we need to do to save sailors' careers. Now after this, what I would end up doing is, let's say if somebody doesn't pass and they get this one time they get to fail the PRT, or they don't even get to actually take the PRT if they can't pass our body composition assessment, is we're going to give them a workout plan. We're going to talk to them on a weekly basis and make sure they bring themselves down to get their BCA in, or their body fat percentage where we need it to be. But this is your job, and this is what you're going to be doing for me in the Navy, to make sure that we get sailors where they need to be, and make sure that people are getting to retirement and exactly what they need out of their services. Thank you. I appreciate you listening, and I think we did well. You're going to be good little certified fitness leaders. It might have gone a little over, but I think I can trim it.
The last sentence put you over.
Probably.
Yeah, 'cause you started at 25 instead.
Well, and the thing is, I thought about doing it in pieces, like segments, so I could like switch on and over, and I decided I don't care that much, and it'd just be easier to try to, like, I don't know how it's going to be trying to put it online. So I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm just going to, like, do it in one thing, so I can just go online and upload one video, not
Right.
worry about the technical part of it and putting things together here and there. Done.
Did you stop the camera too?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't stop that camera. I think it might have died though, actually. Oh, maybe not.